John Wesley, the Journeyman Guitarist here. I hope you enjoyed that little clip. It kind of wasn't planned. I've been messing around with this amp for the last few days, and it is the badcat jetblack. And at one moment when I had this Tele in my hand, and I've got a couple pedals down here, I hit a combination of pedals, and I just started messing with that solo, and I decided I'd just try and record it. And that was first take. So anyway, I'm not really a first take guy, but that was the first take of actually trying to record it. And I was like, yep, that's it, done, got it, yep, gonna live with that one. And it just sounds so pretty. I want to not talk too much about the amp right now. I just want to carry on with some more sounds. Obviously at this moment, I've got the Tele on, and just things that come to mind, I just want to play them. So here we go. Right now I've got the Big Sky going in the effects loop of the jetblack. I've got the Merry Cries compressor on, and a little bit of reverb from the amp. It's just a beautiful reverb. I want you to hear the guitar straight to the amp. So this is just a great tracking setup. Obviously a Tele and an amazing EL-84 based amp that has been a magic combination in studios around the world for years and years and years. So this is kind of, you know, just the guitar straight to the amp, a little bit of reverb on the amp. channel 1 of the jetblack. Got this beautiful clean. I've got it almost at 10 o'clock on the gain side. I've got the master jacked. I'm running the amp into an old Marshall 4x12 in another room. The amp is mic'd up through that 4x12 with a 57 and a Sennheiser 421. It's a classic combination. I've got them both on the same speaker. One is, they kind of hug the dust cover a little bit. They're not into the dust cover too much, but the diaphragms of both mics are right next to each other, parallel right on the speaker. The speakers are old Celestion greenbacks. It's a recording setup that I use quite frequently. So for this demo, I wanted to use it. Now it's running through Vintech Audio 1073 style, 1073 clones. These are the channels without the full-blown EQ sections, so we call them the 473s because there's 4 channels of Vintech. So if you love that old Neve sound, which I do because I've got 16 channels of it, the Vintech mic pre's, there's just nothing closer. It's essentially Neves. So I'm running through that into Pro Tools, recording at 96K. So what you're hearing is just the best representation of this amp that I can come up with. The jetblack is, there's a lot of videos and a lot of literature out there on the specs, but basically it's an EL84 amp. I think it's got 4 EL84s, 3 12AX7s, a wonderful sounding effects loop. It's got tremolo built into it. It's got a digital reverb built into it, which, as you've heard, sounds not digital at all. It sounds just beautiful. So it's basically it's a 2-channel amp. There's a hot channel and a clean channel. I think the thing that I want to emphasize about this amp, the thing that I want to bring out is I'm a working guitarist. The name of my YouTube channel is actually called The Journeyman Guitarist because I'm one of those journeymen, just like a carpenter or a roofer or anything like that. I am the journeyman style guitarist, and I need and like amps that offer a ton of versatility. I've never really been an EL84 amp kind of guy. I've always lean towards EL34 style amps. As a matter of fact, I go a long way back with Badcat, the company. In the early 2000s, I was an early adopter of one of their great amps, the classic, the Hotcat 30. When I was in Porcupine Tree, and for a lot of my own gigs and all my own recordings and things like that, I toured Hotcat 30s for years. I had a black one and I had a red sparkle one, and I would keep one in Europe for the European runs, and I would keep one in the States for all my States work. And I ran that setup for many, many, many years until the band just changed our sound, and I went back to 4x12s in a different setup altogether. So I have a long history and a love of Badcat because, again, I was an early adopter. The Hotcat 30 did not have an effects loop in it, and there wasn't really a way to stick one in at the time. And so that kind of forced a change in the way I do things. Probably as, I think it was 07, something like that. So I toured Badcat's Hotcats for a good 5 solid years. Well, enough talking about my history with Badcat. All I'm going to say is I was able to link up with the Badcat company again through a dear friend. Matt Smith was able to connect me with this amazing new amp, the jetblack. And I want to give it a run through for you as a working guitarist, right? So I'm not here to just demo and all the flash and stuff like that. I just want to show you if you're out there, if you're recording, if you got to go to a gig, I want to let you know what's great about this amp. So the first thing is obviously the sound. I mean, you're hearing it. So this is a Tele. Joe Barden's in it. It's a 71 neck bridge pickup, and this is the neck. If I throw some effects on it, I'm going to bring in the PRS Horsemeat. Normally I'm a Klon guy. I typically always tour an analog grid with a Klon Centaur. Again, early adopter. But you know what? Not everyone can get a Klon Centaur. So I wanted to put something on here that's easily accessible. So if you hear it and you like it, you can go out and get one tomorrow. And that's PRS Horsemeat, which I absolutely love. So the next sound you're going to hear is the PRS Horsemeat with the diamond in the super clean channel. Now, a lot of people would say, is it a good pedal platform? Well, I'm sure it is. But I don't really treat an amp as a pedal platform. One of the things I do with an amp is I like to get the amp sound out of it and then just use the gain boxes to take it over the edge and control it and dial it in a little bit. I don't go for a super clean sound and then use the pedal as the guts, if that makes sense. So I'm going to start with the clean channel and just add a little bit of Horsemeat into it and tell me what you think. So this is straight to the amp. And I add the Horsemeat, and as you can see from the settings, it's not jacked very high. I've got the gain actually almost off. I've got the levels hitting the amp really hard because this Horsemeat pedal actually acts like a Klon, so you can really take the level of the pedal, hit the front end, and this is an amp that if you lean into it, it really gives you different flavors and different tones. So let's have a little demo of that. So you can hear. That's just one good solid gain box. I use a diamond memory lane as my delay. It's a super nice analog delay. It's set at 600. I always keep the delay time at a 600. But I want you to hear what it sounds like in the effects loop with the Horsemeat. And then by accident, I had the Mary Cries on the board, which Mary Cries is an optical compressor that Paul Reed Smith makes, and I've fallen in love with this compressor. And I thought, what would happen if I tried just adding into the compressor so this is the amp, a little bit of reverb in the amp, and just the compressor. And here's without. Beautiful. I like a little bit of breakup in my clean sound. I never really go super, super, super clean, so there's a tiny bit of breakup. And the cool thing about this amp is it responds to your right hand. Okay, now I'm going to add in the Mary Cries. And it was actually playing around with the Mary Cries, the delay or the reverb and the Horsemeat that I came up with the idea to do the Shine On You Crazy Diamond riff. So let me see if I can get everybody into the pool here. Alright, so now what I've got the Horsemeat in, I've got, even though it says flange, this is where I stuck Mary Cries. I have a flanger in there normally. So I stuck Mary Cries right here. And this is the Big Sky. So... And if I pull out the reverb, so this is the clean channel with a little bit of compression, a little bit of gain, and the reverb from the amp. It's just stunning. You know, what a usable, say you're overdubbing a part. Maybe it's enough major 7th chord. It's just fantastic. So this is all, again, this is a tele into the clean channel. So let's do one more thing here in the clean channel. I want to bring in a hollow body with some P90s. This is a 61 ES-125. Little story behind this: the very first electric guitar I ever owned was a early 60s ES-125, and I walked into a music store here called Replay Guitar Exchange to buy a set of strings, and this followed me home. I don't know what happened. I explained it to my wife. I'm like, look, I didn't put a leash on it. I didn't name it. It just followed me home. So I have this 61 ES-125 in honor of the very first electric guitar I ever owned, and it's kind of glorious. So here is the jetblack. That's just the guitar. Here's the jetblack through the clean channel with just a little reverb, nothing else. By using the dynamics of your right hand, this amp is so responsive. Not all amps will do that. There's some modern amps out there that you know, they do a lot of things. There's some great things, but they don't have that response of that dynamic that happens when you really lean into it. Now, look at when I add some stuff in. So let's bring in. Oh, let's have some fun. Let's bring in the Horsemeat and the Diamond Memory Lane. just with just the amp and the compressor here. Great tones, just great tones. All right, so the last thing I want to show you on the clean side is when you bring in a full-on humbucker guitar. I go to my PRS on this one. This is my go-to. So this is straight to the amp. Clean side, but it cleans up. Add some reverb. Bringing a compressor to that, you know. And then, again, this is still the clean side, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to stack the Horsemeat, I'm going to use the diamond memory lane, and I'm going to bring in the Analog Man King of Tone for kind of a solo sound. So let me add the Horsemeat into that. Okay, so all of that, what I did there was I finished up on the Horsemeat. Again, just a beautiful dynamic change. I would say the biggest thing about this amp is just the dynamics. Well, I mean, obviously the tone, the functionality, the dynamics, and there's some other really super functional things about the amp. One of them is its size. This head's really small. It's only 31 pounds. I was on a flight and I saw a guitar player. I can't remember his name, but one of the members of the band said that guy has played with Michael Jackson. And he was walking onto the plane and he had a backpack and a small badcat head. And it was either, I don't know if it was the jetblack or it might have been a hot cat. I don't know. But the fact is, it's small. You can walk into any gig with it, stick it on any cabinet. A 112. I did a gig last weekend where I just stuck it on a 112 that I had, and it sounded glorious. And it was a really small, quiet gig. And I was able to turn it down and still get the tone, get the compression, get the dynamics out of the head. So it's incredibly versatile on a small club level or a huge club level. Now let's get into the gain side. I haven't really done that yet. Oh, the other thing I wanted to show you on the clean side was just a just to kind of just to give you an idea of how cool the tremolo is. You've got a beautiful reverb, fully functional and extremely malleable, and just a tremolo system that you can just really dial in the exact trem that you're looking for. All right, so now let's have some fun. I'm going to stay on the humbucker guitar, and I want to go to the hot side. Now you can click it with the little switch right here, or you can use the handy dandy little jetblack pedal and change channels. So I want to point that out, that as you're doing a gig, you could use the first channel as a rhythm channel and the second channel as a lead channel. I typically don't do that. I would use it as a clean channel, and then I would use the hot channel as the basis for a super gained out rhythm channel, like I used to do with Porcupine Tree. So this is the clean channel. Kick it into the hot channel. Now, for an EL-84 amp, that is a really unique tone. So, again, I normally lean towards an EL-34 kind of thing, and then when I'm recording, if I want to add some more cut or edge or sparkle to a hot sound of an EL-34 amp, I'd have to bring in the clean sound of an EL-84 amp that I keep here. This has that edge and that cut mixed in with the gain side of this hot channel. So I've got the gain probably, where am I? So I've got the gain at, again, 10 o'clock. I've got the master up around noon, into the 4x12. This is straight to the amp, and it's vicious. And it just sounds so amazing. So now what I like to do is I take it to the edge of breakup. I consider this a little beyond the edge of breakup, but if you listen and you kind of rear back that right hand a bit, it goes from the edge of breakup into full breakup, and then you bring in the Horsemeat or any gain box. Any great gain box is going to take this over the edge. That's just with the Horsemeat on it. Got that thing. It's just and again, even with the gain box in, it's all in your right hand. All right. Now, let's take this, the hot side over the top with the Analog Man King of Tone added to this little stack here. I could go on for hours. This video has gone on a long time as it is, but this amp is just so versatile. It does so much. You can stick it in a Pelican Air. I think the number is 1606. The Pelican Air 1606, and this amp is under 50 pounds or under 23 kilograms, so you can check it. What I did a little experiment where I just pulled the feet off, and you put a little foam. You can foam the case out so it's protected. Drop it in the 1606 and check it. You could also do what that guitar player that I ran into the plane did, and just he didn't even have a cover on his, but it comes with a nice cover. You can stick the cover on it and use it as a carry-on. I used it last weekend on a small speaker on a stick gig. My duo partner was playing an acoustic, and I played this through the clean channel, and it was just gorgeous and not too loud, and playing at a really reduced volume still gave me access to all the dynamics that is possible with this amp. That's kind of all I've got for now. I mean, it just does so much. I can't recommend it enough. Again, if you want to get into the real details of the spec, I didn't really talk enough about the effects loop, but I think I demonstrated enough. The reverb and the delay out of here were all in the effects loop. The compression and the gain were in front of the amp. And as always, everything runs through the Gig Rig G3 Atom to give me access to all the tones I need anytime I need them. It's a beautiful amp. I can't say enough about it. If you're gigging, if you're not gigging, if you're doing studio work, if you just want a fantastic rig to play at home, the badcat jetblack is for you. So my name is John Wesley. I am the Journeyman Guitarist, signing out. I hope you enjoyed this. Take care.